Prairie. I'm in sunny, beautiful Idaho today. Yay! It was 40 degrees over the weekend, a little too chilly for my taste. And rainy, which the rain in Idaho, sorry, making lots of noise. The rain in Idaho feels, because we're in a dry place, it feels excruciating sometimes. So anyway, I don't know if you saw, but I thought I'm trying to get some patriotic things done because I have farmer's market this week. And of course, I always wait till the last minute to do things. So here we are. This is a board, I think a plaque. It's kind of cut. I don't know if somebody DIY this, made this themselves, or had gotten it to do a project. It's very heavy, so I'm thinking it's probably oak, in fact. And it had like a clear coat on it, so I went ahead and used my sander to get all of the clear coat off of it. And I was just washing it so we could do something today. So I welcome you. Thank you so much for joining my channel. Make sure that you say hello, do the heart, subscribe, all the things for me. I have you down a little. Oh, she left the door open on me. I'm in my little Airstream camper. I can see outside, which is really nice. She just left my daughter is working on, oh my goodness, I have a second daughter running for, actually my third daughter is running for royalty, Bethany. If you know my family and followed us last year, my daughter Lydia was royalty for our local county fair. And so now we have another one running. So every other year. I don't know. We'll see if she makes it. Who knows? You just never know. Okay, so this is the plaque that I got. I actually think I received it free. I kind of have an in. I know the lady who kind of helps run our one of our local thrift stores down the road, actually out in Fenn. Let me get you a little straighter here. I don't know what's going on. There we go. And when I kept kind of grabbing the really ugly pictures and redoing them, picture frames and things like that, and boards. And so when she kind of caught on that I was taking, I see some, like still some of the shiny parts. I'm just gonna try to, while we're talking here. Anyway, that's my in. She is my daughter's Irish dance teacher. And so she also like volunteers her time for our local charity thrift store. The profits go to a local Catholic school, private school. So we enjoy going and shopping there every once in a while. It's kind of fun. But anyway, when they get down to the bottom of things and they think they can't sell something or it doesn't sell for a long period of time, she seems to she'll send out these boards every once in a while, or signs or whatever. I had another one too that I did. Oh, I can't reach it. It's too far away. I had another board and I actually thought I wasn't gonna be able to, it was so ugly. It had like a little girl's verse on it. I posted on Facebook a picture of all three of the boards I was sanding. I'm not done with the other one, but the one that had the ugly picture on it with checkerboard, and it had like green, and it had like a really yucky looking pastel green color on it. It had just everything on it. Anyway, that one, is this the one I want to do? I think I have nope, not up in smoke. Anyway, that one I thought for sure, because it's kind of like that plasticky, like looking coating. It's not vinyl at all. I don't know. It's from the store or from, I don't know. It looked a lot like those home interior pictures they used to make with like sort of a plastic. Hello, Taryn. Good to see you. It's kind of those little, I don't know. It's got a coating on it. And I didn't think the coating was going to go off, but it came off really easily. Actually easier than this coating. So anyway, I am going to start out. I want to make this into a patriotic, fun DIY project. I want it to be kind of quick. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is use some Dixie Belle Tobacco Road gel stain. It says it works like magic. It's water-based, so I can do this in my little camper here. I can even use a paintbrush for it, or I can use a sponge for it. I can't even find a sponge, you guys. Life is up in the air. My mom is coming to visit tomorrow, so we were trying to get projects done over the weekend that just so that everything is done. So I am just going to go over this with this stain, I think. And this is not going to be the final color that we go with, but I do want to get some color underneath my paint. And I'm kind of copying another YouTuber that I watch. Her name is Linda, and I forgot to look up her channel name. I can't remember what her channel name is, but I could put the link down below, or just say or ask if you want to know who Linda is. Anyway, I was watching her over the weekend while I was doing all kinds of projects, and I thought, I'm going to try that. She uses the dark wax, the antique wax from Walmart, the Waverly antique wax, which I have on hand and could try, but I was thinking that maybe the wax just, I think she only puts on sporadically. This way I can kind of put an undercoat on this particular board with this, and it will go, this, I know that this, because it's water-based, it's not as messy. I can wash my hands. Sometimes I make messes no matter what I do, but I just want to make sure that side is done. But you just put it on, and you can even put this on boards that aren't real wood, you know, like, and make it look like real wood, because all you have to do is run it over, and this like covers all mistakes on boards. I really love this product. One, because it's water-based, so I don't have to worry about, you know, toxicity or doing it in my little camper and getting toxic from it. Hello, hello. Make sure you say hello. Thank you so much for watching me live. We have, well, next week is 4th of July. I can't believe July is almost here, you guys. Do you guys celebrate the July 4th holiday? We do it in style here in Grangeville, Idaho. We do 3 days. It's called Border Days. You should look it up. I think it's our 114th rodeo here in town in Idaho. 114 years it's been going. We have 3 days of rodeos, 3 days of parades, 3 days of foot races downtown, and the whole downtown is taken over. The banners went up, I think, on Friday downtown, which is kind of cool. So they have banners on every single, like, cross road, all the way down Main Street. And then the parade goes down there. I think it's about 3 miles long, the parade. And so we have parades the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Rodeos 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I don't like it when they do that. I wish they would do the rodeo the final night. They say they do it for the cowboys, but do it for everybody else too, is what I think. So you could see this is actually covered, and you could do more or less depending on what your purpose was in your project, but you can see kind of just looks like it, you know, nothing really fancy, but it just makes it a better color instead of that light wood look. I'm not into the light wood. That all being said, as soon as I'm going to go ahead and cover this after this. So we're going to do more steps to make this what we want. And I've got, I think we're going to use Cadet. And so if I sand away or some edges show, then they're nice and dark underneath instead of being a light wood, and that's going to work to our favor. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a brush, and I usually, when I'm doing brushing on, I like to put a little bit of water in the lid of my paste jar. So this is also water-based paint, and so, or paste, and it's a little thicker. It's not really, I like to get it like kind of worked up a little bit. My brush softened up with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to paint this whole entire thing Cadet blue. And like I said, this way it kind of gives it a dark color underneath. I'm just making sure I get that end, even though I can't see it. Cadet is, you know, probably the go-to 4th of July color, I would say, that you would use. I'm just going to get this edge here nicely, or try anyway. So many projects over the weekend, but not much to show for myself. None of it was, and I'm just going to go around and try to get all of these edges. So I have a board around underneath, a cardboard underneath this, because I want to make sure I get all the edges well covered. And of course, if I do that on my mat ends up a hot mess. Not that I probably won't, because this blue is pretty dark, so I have a good chance of getting it all over. My cadet is running out. I have several colors that are kind of running out in my repertoire. Thankfully, I think I have red and blue pretty solid, at least to get me through the holiday. It's not too late to get those holiday signs made and used so that you can still decorate for the holidays. And like here, like I said, it's kind of a big to-do, so it's nice to get it all up. We're having graduation on Saturday. My mom is coming tomorrow on her flight in the evening, so I'll be doing shopping in the morning, because of course anytime you go to Lewiston you got to do your shopping. It's an hour 15 to where the airport is, and that is also where all of our grocery stores are, and you know, all the fun stuff all down there. So I'm getting this on actually pretty thick here, and it's doing a nice coverage. So maybe putting that, putting that coating underneath it is not a bad idea, because it, like I said, I've never done it this way. I was kind of just taking one from Linda over on her YouTube channel, and taking the idea and kind of running with it on my own here, because I think, let's see if I can get some. Oops. And seeing how it works out for me, I guess that's what I'm gonna give it a try. But putting that dark stain underneath actually, I think, just gave it a little bit more depth. It made this easier to paint on, because sometimes when you put the paste on, especially even watered down, it just doesn't go on very thick. So we're gonna see how this is. And at this point, it's kind of looking like we stained it blue, but it's dark, I don't know. Let's see how this turns out here. It does look like I'm going to run out of cadet. I do have a backup. I have some color of the month called Home, but I don't want to use it for painting background. It's special, so I have to use it for lettering. Do you ever have craft supplies like you hoard and hoard and hoard, and then it like dries up because you didn't use it in time? Yep, that's me. All right. So little stars and stripes we're doing here today. More stars. Well, stripes too. I'm going to have to get my husband to put a hanger on the back for me. May just use like a piece of twine on it. So make sure we get good coverage. So anyway, we're working on royalty applications are due on Friday. So getting applications all done and spell checked. So my daughter's been out like several times here. Mom, how do you spell this? Does this look okay? Can I do this? Oh, she's like, I'm back. I'm like, I'm shocked. That's all right. The biggest thing is I cannot believe that we're thinking about doing this again. I did try to talk her out of it because it was rough doing the first round. It's hard to do the royalty stint when the girls don't all get along very well. And that's basically what happened for my older daughter. So it was a hard reign. But it's not deterring this one at all. Trying so we might to talk her out of it. I am very good. Thank you, Dan Flex. Appreciate it. We're doing really great. It's beautiful weather out, finally up to the 70s again. We were down in the 40s, and I know over in Montana, the glacier, they got 18 inches of snow on the mountain. I kept looking like it was going to snow on ours because it was down in the 40s. But it did not happen that I'm aware of, unless it melted before I got up in the morning. Is it Daniel or Daniel? Oh, that's right. So your name is different than your name. I get it. I get it. I'm kind of the same way on Facebook. I am Dory Joe on Facebook, although it is my middle name put together with my first name. I prefer to be called Dory. So there's that. So welcome, welcome. Sorry if I mess up your name. Okay. Ooh, I got that stuck down. So there is that first coat. And I think I'm just going to do a second. Can you see where it's got areas where it's not quite showing well? I'm going to turn an extra light on here. I don't know if this is going to help. Sometimes the glare is something else. There, maybe that's better. Okay, definitely got some different varying degrees of this color on here. So I'm gonna get a little bit more water in my lid because it feels like it's a little on the thick side. And I do want to kind of cover up. I think this layer we're just gonna do super thin. And it should do the job, I think. Got some over here. I love it when paint is like, it seems like the better quality of paint that you have, or in this case, I guess paste. It seems like easier to do, you know, spot fills. And so this, I think this is going to work to just kind of spot coat it where we need it. Do some nice smooth. Some more water out here. I do like to use distilled, I guess in this, I often use purified, but distilled is better water to use with the paste. Since it's water-based, you can just add in a little water if it gets too dry or if you want to use it. This is like more like watercolor consistency, what I've made it into here. And that's just so I can get a nice smooth coat on here because I had a couple of thick spots. This will kind of smooth that out and not put too much extra on top. So hopefully this will fix any areas where we don't have total coverage. And I do have a couple of spots, I don't know why, on the edges here. Just checking all of the areas. We don't want any weird spots showing through it. And then I'll probably take it back anyway, because we did do that dark color. But I actually think using that dark stain underneath just made it look darker. Because I've done this cadet before, and it takes several coats, and this feels like 1.5 coats here that we're putting on here. Just splattered that all over. I think I'm wearing black today. Blue is not, I'm not a stellar blue painter. It seems like every time I use this cadet color, whether it's in ink or paste, I end up making. My name is Dory. I'm here in Prairie Scraps. You are on my crafting channel. We're making some patriotic, hopefully some patriotic funness, decorations. Thursday I'm going to be down in Kuski, Idaho at the farmer's market with my daughter and my mom. Oh, I still see some, I do see some bleed through there. Still, it's kind of light looking there. And we're gonna have to do another coat there. Do it. I don't know why. Sometimes when you're working with the water-based paste and if you add water to it, sometimes it will just like work away at things, kind of rub it away. So once you put it down, if you rub too often, it'll just rub it away for you. So that may be what, I don't know. It's just not looking as consistent. I just want a really good solid cover here of paste. So just a little more spotting up here. But like I said, this cadet, I usually have to do a couple coats, if not 3 or 4 sometimes. It's just using darker pigment to paint. It doesn't always work out the best. It's not easy. It just takes more. I remember one time I decided to paint my entryway burgundy, and I thought, well, I wanted to paint like a lot of my my house burgundy, but I thought I'd start with my entryway and see how it went. I really wanted to do like a wall in my living room of burgundy. And so anyway, I think I did 4 coats to get it covered in my entryway, and it was just like literally the entryway was like just a little box, a little bigger than all the doorways, and there was 4 doorways, and all I had to do was the little bits in between each of the doorways because it made a box area. And wow, what a mess. Like after I did those 4 layers of paint to make it burgundy, I decided, you know what, I don't need any other rooms in my house to have a burgundy anything. That was crazy. That was too much work for me. I don't know, call me a lazy painter. I just didn't want to do. Just didn't want to do it. Good thing I only started with my entryway and didn't start with the living room, that's for sure. Dori, D-O-R-I is how you spell my name. Now I have it dark enough on the areas where I didn't, did the 3rd coat, but not on the other areas. So back to the drawing board, as they say, just a little bit more here. Try to get this complete coverage here. I was working, I found last year, rummage sailing, I found this cutest little wood roll top, like children's roll top desk. But it was like, I don't know, really high in height. The legs were really long, and the chair that they had, the matching chair, oh my gosh, the chair is so cute. The matching chair like was nowhere near the desk. So like, I don't understand. All I could think of is that possibly it was like a demo, like a furniture demo example or something. It's vintage. Anyway, I found this at a thrift sale. It was in the original color wood. The roll top part had kind of come apart, but when I looked at it, I thought it would be fairly simple to fix. So I bought it and I checked with my daughter first because I could envision it for my granddaughter, and I could envision it. I had this whole vision for it. I wanted to paint it for my granddaughter. And anyway, it has sat in my kitchen for a year now because knowing what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to start on it till my husband got the legs cut off to the proper height, because I knew if I started painting, I would want those legs shorter. Get all the blue off here before I start making fingerprints in places I don't want them. So anyway, with my mom coming and trying to get the house cleaned up, and my granddaughter's birthday was last weekend, but they were sick. I've been trying to get this desk done. So we've sanded it a couple weeks ago. My husband cut it off. We've been working on fixing all the different things on it, getting it painted and all the things. And I finally got it done on Saturday. And so we took it down to her yesterday. Oh my gosh, it is so adorable. I painted the whole thing in a blush pink and then did some of our French vintage French transfers on it in gray in Storm. So adorable. And then I put her name on the back of the chair. So I'm so excited. She was so excited. Had to sit right at it. Little scared. She's probably going to draw on it somewhere. And, you know, as per usual, whenever you do a bigger project like that, not just a little sign, there's always something that happens. I think that's really good coverage. So we're going to go with this. But first, before we go on to the next step, one, I'm going to make sure it's good and dry. And two, then I'm going to wax it so that I kind of hold in that coloring that I put on there. So we're going to use some surface wax with our little applicator. Just a little bit. I just don't want it to peel off our blue, you know, once we start doing this next step. So I am going to do this. I'm actually going to do a little multimedia. You could see the wax is actually kind of making a sheen on it. Kind of brings out, you know, a little bit of the wood. And I do it all the way around just so it looks consistent. You can seal your project with wax, any of your wood projects. And I really thought about that with the furniture that I was doing for her this weekend with a little desk. And I probably should have waxed it because it would have been better for the wood. It's actually kind of good to condition in the wood with the wax. Okay, so we're going to take this out of here. And I want to make this the top portion of the flag. And I'm going to maybe put that part we won't be able to do. Not that one. We're going to put some stars across this. I'm pretty sure. This is our Land of the Free transfer. It's last year's transfer, but I think it's available and it's actually like 35% off right now, I think. So you can totally get it. It's got a lot of parts. It says America, it says Land of the Free, Land that I love, and stars, and Home of the Brave. It's got an eagle on there. So I'm going to just check this out. This isn't going to be exactly, I think I'm going to be able to get 2 rows on here. Can get this on here twice. And I'm going to try to center it as best I can. I could also do like America across the top. I don't know if that would fit. I think it might be too long. Might be too long. Yeah, it's too long. It'll cut off the 2 A's. That would be a good. But we could also do maybe Land of the Free. That might be good. And I could actually use this other set. There's like a 3 set of, so we'll kind of play around with this, I guess. But first I'm going to start out with this. I'm just going to do bright white on here because I'm going to look good. Oofta. I'm telling you, all my important pastes are running out. I love these stars. These, you could put them anywhere and make it patriotic. If you do, you know, red, white, and blue, it's going to be fun. So the red and white stripes, I'm actually going to put underneath. And by using some fabric. So we're going to use some fabric strips. I've been kind of checking out all the ideas on Pinterest and everywhere else. And that's what I've decided to do. I've been wanting to. I've actually been looking. That's kind of why I got into sanding all my different pieces that I had. So these are kind of, oops, that one didn't get the bottom parts of its starship, the corners. I'm going to come back in here and get the corners. We don't want to leave them off. If you go slow enough, it kind of works. Sometimes if you miss something, you can get it fixed without having to replace it on there. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. And then we are going to do Land of the Free, I think. Usually during the border days, there's that art in the park. And so it's 2 days of having different... like booze, vendor booze and things like that. They don't allow direct sales companies. I'm hoping I got that straight. You want to get all the bubbles out, especially with words. You really want to work hard at getting all the bubbles out because you don't want it to leak underneath. So we're just going to do Land of the Free. I think it's a wonderful saying we have here in America. Home of the brave, land of the free, right? Because of the brave, we are free. We like to say that. And we're going to put this across the top. Speaking of which, my girlfriend, I made a picture for her for Christmas, and she was actually in the hospital when it arrived, so she didn't know it arrived. So it took her a while before she actually got to it. When she opened it up, I feel so bad. The glass in it had shattered in the mail. So I knew I was taking a chance. I bubble wrapped it, packed it up really good, put Fragile all over it, and still it arrived broken. Well, I got to make her a new glass, and I'm going to make it out of plexiglass and then just ship her the plexiglass. Just haven't done it. I need to do that. It's bad. That was Christmas. Of course, it took us probably till February to figure out that I needed to make a new one. I didn't get the whole F here, so... I'm going to come back on it and do the F. That's why you want to check as you go. Whoops. Still didn't get my F. Kind of lifted it. Well, I don't know why that F is not, it's not printing there. It's like it's too dry or something. Or too much wax. I don't know. I think it's, it's like it picked up some of the paint, the blue paint there. And so the blue paint is coming up and it blocked it. So I'm going to just fix it. Try to fix it anyway. There we go. Maybe that helped. Maybe it didn't. Oop, now we got blurry. Shoot. Was hoping that wouldn't happen. All right. I'm going to have to fix that even more now. All right, let me show you that so you can see it. My little F is kind of a mess. I'm going to give it a chance here to dry. And I think I'm just going to do, I'm thinking about doing just another row of, I'm going to just try to scratch it off here. I haven't done this in a while. But basically, if you just take and wrap a wipe around your tool, you can kind of scrape it away. And I always try to push it toward the paste. Push it toward it. It's almost like it knows it needs to go back in its place. Oops, and I think we just sort of maybe lifted some of the wax here. It might fill in once it dries. Just kind of tapping at it. I don't know what in the world. Join in with your partners here. Okay. I think I'm going to take a really fine brush and try to fix. That's too big. Try to fix it a little bit. Try to get that on there. Hey, I didn't do too bad. I don't know why that's being so ornery there. Just, there we go. So things should start to get crazy in our town here for border days for the 4th of July, starting early next week. The rodeo grounds are about a block away, so it starts to get kind of noisy. Let's see if I can get this dried. I think it's it looks lighter there. I don't think it's actually the white paint. I think it's the fact that I don't have wax there. So I'm gonna actually get my wax back out and wax a little teeny bit here and see if I can't work it out. Nothing. Ooh, now I got it. I knew that was gonna happen. I got into the white. Nothing perfect ever looks beautiful, I think is how the saying goes. Nothing beautiful is ever perfect. I think that's the way it goes. That's the saying. Okay. And I'm going to just kind of let it go here. I'm probably going to go in again with my brush and do the blue around it and just sort of doctor that up a little bit. Okay. So I'm sort of trying to decide between, so there we go. This is the fix, and you can kind of see around that F, it still looks like, you know, kindergartner did it. So I'm kind of thinking either this or doing another row of these stars. And I'm kind of thinking the row of stars. So I'm going to try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the bottom row with the one I already have there, and then put the top one on, because they will be spaced the same then. They will be exactly right. I'm not going to press on that because I don't want to have it create peel off any of my stars I've already painted. We're just going to press where the stars are and then go over it. Usually the transfers, you can use them twice. I don't like to use them a third time in a row without washing in between. But if you're worried about it like squirting outside or, you know, leaking underneath, definitely wash it and let it dry, the transfer. It's washable. You can use it, you know, over and over and over again. Just take good care of it and wash it. A little bit more there. Okay. Now we need to go in and sort of figure out how to fix that around the of, so it doesn't look so, like, draw attention to itself. Don't ask me how I got white everywhere. I'm a mess. I even got on my table. Maybe it was from the last time I was chalking. So if you'd like to support me, you can certainly buy your own chalk supplies. I have in the description below. I do have the link. I also have my finished goods on there. So please feel free. That red, white, and blessed has been sold, and I can't get it. So I need to mark that. But please also make sure to follow my channel, subscribe, and do some little thumbs up for me. That helps my channel grow. I'm just coming in here with the very fine tip here. I'm just sort of fixing that area that is like looking a little white around the edges. And do move your piece so that you can see well. And do it from from the side of your hand. I like to turn it. It doesn't really matter to me if it's right side up or upside down. I can usually paint either way as long as I know I have my hand in the going in the right angle, I guess. I like to, there we go. Oh, dang it. I'm not really steady with my hands. I have carpal tunnel I think I have a pretty good case going right now. I don't want the surgery. So I've been putting off the surgery, that's for sure. Okay. Now, I'll wipe here, see if I can't. I'm actually going to come back to my tool again with a clean wipe because I went a little bit over. See if I can't get it lifted off while it's still wet. Usually, I mean, if you're worried about, you know, smearing and stuff, wait till it dries, and usually it's easier to fix things when it's dry. I say that. Do what I say, not what I do. I think I'm going to have to come back, get my brush clean. Come back with my white and redo that again over the blue because let me show you that F. Right in the middle there. Can you see it? I went over it. I had it good, and then just a little nudge. A little too much zhuzh. And that was a problem. My hands aren't very steady, so it's really hard to do this. Even with a nice paint brush. Ugh. Got the blue mixed in. Oops. Got the blue mixed into my white. And then, you know, there's the bifocal issue. This getting old is for the pits. I know I'm only in my 50s, but, you know, I'm already in, like, the progressives, and, oh, it's not fun. All right. Oh, I did want to get this star, because this star looked a little, there's like a spot where it didn't print very well. I'm just going to see if I can naturally make it go. I don't know. Little brush strokes. Little bits at a time here. I don't want it to look like like I painted it on. But I also don't want it that big. All right, there we go. I think it's pretty good. Is that cute? Land of the free. I think you don't notice it anymore, especially from afar. I'll put that F right up there for you. It looks pretty good, I think. Pretty good. As it dries, it looks a little bit better. Whew. And my back is out. Oh my goodness, I'm falling apart. Falling apart. All right, so for the ribbons, I want to do, these are keep rolling on me. Where'd it go? I have a bag full of fabric, and I want to make some, I don't want blue. I got some fabrics at a thrift sale. I think the whole pack was all put together, red, white, and blue together. Yeah. Or some white, I guess. Thought I had more red. This seems kind of bright to me, but maybe it'll work. Is this enough? I got some here. Good. Okay, so we're going to make the stripes with some ribbon and fabric by tacking it on the back. So I'm just going to make some strips. Got this nice red, and I think this is too long. Try to figure out the measurement here. Ripping it works out really nice because you can... How far do I want it? I actually think that's kind of a thick piece, too. Let's see. So I'm trying to figure out, if I put this underneath, how long we want to make it. I don't want it to be too long. Okay, so if we made all the pieces, oh, it's almost in half, actually. Maybe we'll just do that. We'll do 2 pieces from this. That will be, I think that's in half. Yep. Get the extra strings off. We want it to look kind of raggedy. I think that'll be really cute. So put that down here. I think you see where I'm going with this. We'll do red and white stripes this way. I think I'll do one more, because that'll give me 2. Guess that's a little Christmassy. The nice thing about ripping is it, like, my husband, he was doing the fabric part of that roll top desk, and he's like, how do I get this cut straight? Is there some way to, do you rip it? And I'm like, yep, you rip it. Just like that. He was like afraid to rip it. I don't blame him. It's the first time you rip, it's like, but there we go. There's gonna be lots of extra fabric here. You can actually save those to kind of be like extras on bows and stuff. They look kind of cute as a little gathered batch of... Okay, so we've got red, red, red. I'm going to do some of this. Let's see if we've got a rough edge. Guess not. And I don't think I guess there is this way. Maybe I'll go this way. All you have to do to rip it in straight lengths is to just go ahead and do a little clip, so you kind of start it and then rip away. Something satisfying about ripping the fabric. That's for sure. Let's see how many this makes here. Oops. Just kind of want to have the same length. You could do thinner stripes, you could do thicker, you could do red, white, and blue. I've seen some people do like a blue, kind of like shorter blue ones first, so that the blue of the flag is part of the fabric, and then you do whatever you want on the top. We have a transfer that says red, white, and blessed. I think that would be a gorgeous transfer. It just, I don't think it was going to fit. Okay, so that one rip made 3 of these, so we have sort of an odd number now. Red, and then we do the, see how this goes. I don't think I want this. This is too bright of red. You could use like shirt fabric. I do that all the time. I will grab shirt fabric, like shirts at the thrift store. So cute. All right. And then one here. Okay, so now we just need to, I think we're just not even going to need that much at all to do this project. And these are just like fabric scraps that I have around, actually. Let's see. Get this folded up again. I think we got what we need out of it. I barely even used any, so we got plenty of fabric left to do whatever we want next. I was also thinking about using, you could use red and white ribbon if you wanted. Oh, I do have, I don't think I have any. I was gonna check and see if I had any ribbon already created. It doesn't have to be like methodical, but I kind of like it that way. I don't like everything to look a certain way. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me. Put different textures, whatever you think would be fun. I think I will use, this seems very yellow to me. So I'm going to use a different piece of fabric. Got just some cotton fabric that you can get by the yard. I even purchased some. Let me see. Got some. I purchased some from Whatchamajigger before they went out of business. Ooh, this might be better stuff. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as, see, that's a little bit whiter. Not as yellow as this stuff is. It's just looking yellow to me today. All right. Here we go. I'm going to take, might take the long way. That'll give me more. So these are ending up to be about 1 3/4 by 14 inches long. That's what I'm using. You can do whatever you want. That's what we're going to do here. I need to get out my glue gun, get that going. Get my little tray out here so it always drips, that glue gun. All right, and then this one went kind of crooked because that's how they cut it crooked. So we're gonna try to get that cut down a little bit. So one thing at fabric stores, it's always hard because they cut it, you know, they don't rip it to cut it, they cut it, and a lot of times you end up with like in this case, that's almost an inch of fabric that's off. Right there. Keep those little scraps. You just never know what you might use it for. You could do a messy bun with it. All right, let's see how many we can get out of here. I don't know what it is about the big trucks here. It's so annoying. Oh, big loud trucks all the time in this area. All right, so we've got 2, and I know I've got 7. And 3, well, almost 3 out of 1 strip. Not too bad. This was, I mean, I think it ended up costing me, I don't know, $1 a yard or something. I don't know what it was when I bought it. Okay. Kind of want that ripped look on it, so I'm gonna try to peel from this other end here. This one edge looks cut. It's gonna make it a little smaller. But that's okay. We just want it to look rough around the edges. We want it to look that way. Okay, so we got 3, so we want to do 1 more of those. Here we go. Go this width. Wrong one. Like, I guess I don't really care if you get a big truck, but don't drive around town all the time revving your engine and putting extra exhaust on it. That's what drives me. Like they put the squealy, whistles on their exhausts around here. It's so infantile, I think. There we go. This is a little messy with the fabric, but it looks cute when you have it ragged like this. The other thing you could do is take the fabric and, spritz it down with some coffee grounds. That would make it look older. Almost. Okay, I think I've got enough now to do this. I'm actually thinking it's not going to take as much as I imagined. Okay. I'm going to start off and just put some, well, I'm not going to start off and do anything because that's not coming out yet. But I think what I'm going to do is like every other one, red, white, red, white. This one's another one of those that doesn't look very torn. You could also take sandpaper and make it look torn instead of ripping it, but that seems rough. I will get my fingers if I try to do that. There we go. So I'm doing red, white, but I'm going to do alternating patterns. So I just got to spread it out, I think, so I kind of see how it looks. And then we've got the polka dots. Got the white. It's definitely going to need to overlap a little bit, I think. That's why maybe it's a good idea to lay it out first. Okay, and then we want the, whoops, so the selvage edge. That selvage edge doesn't come with, yeah, maybe I don't even need as many as I thought I did. Let's see if I kind of hold it there. I might actually scrunch these up and put them on. I think that's what I'm going to do, actually, so that we get all these on here. So then we do, I think it's not as full as I'm imagining if I don't scrunch it up a little bit. So I'm going to scrunch it. And then the red. And then the white. I say white and put red down, you know. You know what I meant. And then finally this. Okay, now we're getting hot enough, so I think I'm tempted to put a little knot there, but I'm afraid that it would be too bulky on the back to have a knot there. So I'm just gonna put it on there in like the glue, kind of scrunch it up by hand. So it's gonna be a little on the homespun side, but that's what we're going for, right? That was my finger. 2 of my fingers. That hurt. use fingertips, use precautions. Do not be as dangerous as I'm being. Holy cow. I even have these little fingers sitting right here, and I'm being dumb about it. Not so smart. There we go. At least that'll help a little bit. Okay, try that again. Kind of just ruffling along here. I'm nothing fancy, just lining them up and being very careful not to hurt myself. Trying anyway. Do not put the other hand in. That's dumb. I've got the fingers on one hand and then stuck my other hand in it. Ooh, I didn't even know that fabric had some on it. Hot glue is from this Ryobi thing. It is hot. Okay, so how many? I need to be careful that I don't like crowd it so much that I don't have all of them on there. Okay, we need a, here it is. You can always trim some of these off. But this Ryobi is so hot. So if you're not wanting to deal with a really super hot glue gun, this is not the glue gun for you. I thought it was a great idea. Although that being said, everything does stick really tight. I didn't count these to see how many. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. I should be more than halfway there. So we are going to flip this one over. Try to move toward the halfway point with it. Just get them shoved over a little bit here, so they're not so crowded down there. Like I said, the one thing about this hot glue, though, is that it really sticks. So I may have to rip those last few off to get them spread out. Ooh, ooh. Even through the little silicone fingers, it still is very hot, so. Can hear little neighbor girl. She's so adorable. Trying to stick with my original plan of kind of gathering it up, but I'm not doing so great. It's all out the window now. Squeeze it all together. And I figured if this doesn't like get it down, you know, if I'm worried about this coming off, I may come back with a staple gun and just go ahead and, whoops, white. Staple. After myself. And I could always just add another one if I wanted. Also, if, you know, if I didn't do it real super straight, because I'm kind of eyeballing here, you could draw a line if you wanted. We're not that particular, but let's show you how that looks so far. What do you think? I think I could put one more white one on that end, and I think it would, I'm kind of excited. I think it looks really cute. Doesn't it look cute? I think if I had the Land of the Free on the bottom instead of the top, then we could have, oops, I got a little glue here on the fabric, on the front of it, of course. I think it would totally, like, you could put like a little bow on the top, but I don't think it needs one. And I think using just a piece of twine stapled on the back for a hanger is going to be perfect, because then you could hang it on a door, and this is going to go wave in the wind. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about this. I will clear coat this so that it is take one more white. We're going to do one more white because I've got, do you see how I've got a little bit on this edge and not on this edge? So we're just going to put it on there. But I think this is going to stick really good. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Let's see if we can get another one. Just one more white. I think it's adorable and so easy. Actually, you could totally assembly line this pretty easily. All right, I want to see where my length is. So if you're like me and you didn't count like how many you had and where the halfway point is, and then you realize you're kind of running out at the end, just keep adding. You know, it wasn't hard to, there we go. Just got one off. Put this on here. Kind of crumple it up here. We don't want it hanging off the edge, so there we go. And the nice thing is, like I said, this is such, you can see it like smoking here. And you can really get it, like this is, I usually use the Gorilla Glue sticks from Walmart, and it's stickier than the normal glue gun as well. So, you know, and then any edges you see like up that you didn't get down, you can just go in and put it down with the glue gun a little bit later. Or, like I said, if you were worried about it coming off, because sometimes glue gun, you know, it doesn't always stick the best. You can always come in and staple gun it too, which I'll talk to my husband, but I think it's going to stay. I think it'll be good. All right, I am excited about this. Like I said, I'm just going to take a piece of twine for this top string and hang it on a door. Isn't that adorable? I just think it's so cute. Oh, and look, it's kind of like different. I did end up with a little bit differing sizes, so I'll probably straighten that out too. I'll lay it out flat. Get this turned off before we burn something or somebody, meaning myself. I thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will subscribe and like the channel. It helps me grow. Share with your friends, and let me know that you were here. Say hello. Let me know if you have any questions besides what my name is. My name is Dory. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. And this is today's fun patriotic sign. Isn't that the cutest? I think it's adorable. Tell me what you think. All right, have a very blessed day, and make sure you keep on crafting.